This is the BG Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax. Good morning, everybody. It is a Thursday edition of the BG Sports Show. A lot of things rolling around here. A great time all in the sports world. The World Series is going crazy. NBA has just started. The Major League Soccer playoffs are going on as well. And my goodness, what a day it is. I'm excited to be here. As I mentioned, I am Bax. My co-host Sam is not here today. He has prior work commitments, unfortunately, so he will not be here today. But you'll have me, Connor Christensen, will join us a little bit later on in the program. And our producer, Danny Hoffenstein, is here also hanging out in the studio with us. So good morning to all of you. Quick reminder, you can get us right here on Spreaker.com from 7 to 8 a.m. Central and on Periscope as well. Good morning, everybody. Great to see you all on Periscope. Great to see you. Thanks, everybody that continues to join. So awesome to see all of you guys. Thank you for all the hearts. Hello. I wish I could pronounce a lot of your names that continue to say hi to me, but unfortunately, it's kind of hard for me to do that. So good morning from Florida. Thank you. I'm from Florida also. I actually hail down there from Naples. So good morning, Angeline8854. So good morning to you. And reminder to all of you, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking on Periscope. I'm excited. I've got my coffee, so I am jacked and ready to go this morning. We're also on Sports Radio America as well from 11 to 1 p.m. Central Time. SportsRadioAmerica.com, live 365, and tune in as well. And also on social media, you can find us at the BG Sports Show on Facebook. That's what it is. Gosh. And yes, if you'd like to have some coffee, you're more than welcome to. Here you go. I don't necessarily know how I can pass my coffee through Periscope, but there you go. I'm passing it to you. Enjoy it. You can also get us on Twitter as well at BG Sports Show. I am at Baxter Colburn. Sam is Samuel_Wallace2. A lot of great things to chat about today. As we mentioned, the NBA playoffs are going on. I want to take a quick moment, though, and give a special shout-out to the wonderful ladies over at Cedarburg High School. For those of you that follow the show fairly closely, you know that I do a lot of broadcasting for Cedarburg High School here in Wisconsin. And I want to give them a special shout-out this morning because they have a huge regional volleyball playoff game this morning. And I want to, or not this morning, goodness, this evening. And I just want to give them a special shout out and say good luck tonight, ladies. I'm wearing my Cedarburg High School volleyball shirt as well, so to support them. So good luck to all the awesome ladies up there at Cedarburg. Spike some balls tonight and have some fun. So happy birthday to you, Angeline8854 on Periscope. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a great birthday. Today's actually my mother's birthday as well. So a special shout out to you, Mama, for your continued support of me doing the show as well. So now that we've got all those crazy things out of the way, let's take a look at the week that was in the NBA. Opening night was just 2 nights ago, as we saw some great action tipping off for the fans. They have had a good time so far checking out who exactly might be another title contender this year. Will it be the Golden State Warriors? Will it be the Cleveland Cavaliers? Will it maybe be the Chicago Bulls? Well, time will tell. Well, let's take a look. The opening night scores, the Detroit Pistons took down the Atlanta Hawks by a score of 106-94. Last year, it was all Atlanta running the tables last season during the regular season. Then when it came to playoff times, they just kind of couldn't live up to their hype, and they didn't seem to have enough depth and talent to really push forward and end up winning the playoffs, as we all know. The game that a lot of folks were talking about, though, from opening night was the Chicago Bulls taking down the Cleveland Cavaliers 97-95. Pau Gasol with a last-second block, and as LeBron James went up to the rim and tried to slam it down, ended up not working out. Pau Gasol ended up being the man of the match on that one, so congratulations to the Bulls on getting their victory there. 81 games to go, folks. Don't be freaking out, honestly, if your team lost opening night. And then the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry and company, they dropped 111 points on the New Orleans Pelicans, 111-95 in that game. A good overall performance from Steph Curry and company. Curry ended the night with 40 points, whatever, just kind of how the game goes, I guess, for him. What a great performance from him. Thank you as well to the person that wished my mother happy birthday on Periscope. I appreciate it. I'll make sure to pass that on to her. Then we looked at some of the action that took place last night as well. That's when a majority of the rest of the NBA took place for their opening games. You saw the Washington Wizards take down the Orlando Magic 88-87. A good, hard-fought battle between those two teams. Then you had the Boston Celtics go for the 112-95 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers. The Detroit Pistons got a 92-87 victory over the Utah Jazz, so good job for the Pistons. Miami represent the home state of Florida, so go Miami. They got a 104-94 victory over the Charlotte Hornets, so congratulations to the Miami Heat on that one. The Chicago Bulls going off to a 2-0 start to get their season rolling. They grabbed a 115-100 victory last night over the Brooklyn Nets. Good performance overall from them. And I think the Bulls are going to be one of those teams that are really going to jump out at people this year. They've got a lot of good talent. Jimmy Butler led all Bulls scorers with 24 total points. He played 34 minutes, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. He's really starting to look like a complete player, honestly, for those of you that follow either the Chicago Bulls or were big fans of Jimmy Butler while he was at Marquette University up here in the great state of Wisconsin. Rounding up the scores, we had Indiana losing to Toronto 106-99. Denver took down Houston 105-85. The New York Knicks dished out 122 points on the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks are kind of assuming that they're going to have a good season. Michael Carter-Williams scored 20 points last night for the Bucks, while Greg Monroe, the new offseason transition that everybody was so excited about as if you were a Bucks fan, saying, "We got Greg Monroe." He was able to go and drop 22 points last night. He had 14 rebounds, 4 assists. And folks are saying here on Periscope that Butler may be the best player Chicago has. I'd have to agree with you on that one. It's either that or the surgeons that keep trying to repair Derrick Rose's whatever torn ligaments and ACLs that he has, honestly. But they obviously aren't performing very well because Derrick Rose keeps getting hurt. So I would honestly say that Jimmy Butler is the most valuable player in Chicago and more than likely will be that player all season long, regardless of what Derrick Rose or anybody else on that team does. So if Jimmy Butler wants to put the team on his back, like we've seen his predecessors, like LeBron James, do for the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Miami Heat, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, all those guys have done that as well down in Oklahoma. Jimmy Butler, he's got an opportunity to make himself one of the best in the NBA if he wants to step up this year. This is a good opportunity for him to do it. Finishing up the scores here, San Antonio drops 106 points, but is not enough as they lose to Oklahoma City 112-106. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook having just a terrific night, 55 points between the two of them. Kevin Durant has 22 points, 6 rebounds, and Russell Westbrook 33 points, 2 rebounds, 10 assists. What a great night from him. For those of you that own him in fantasy basketball, I'm sure you are thrilled by that. Cleveland got back to the winning ways, 106-76 over Memphis. Dallas won 111-95 over Phoenix. The Portland Trailblazers won 112-94 over New Orleans. Clippers took down the Kings 111-104. And the Minnesota Timberwolves got their first victory of the season against the LA Lakers, 112-111. So it was great to see Kevin Garnett and company back in the swing of things. Some good performances. Ricky Rubio dropped 28 points last night, 2 rebounds, 14 assists. What a fantastic overall performance from him. So those are the scores from around the NBA from the opening games. Still more to come, obviously, here on the BG Sports Show. Don't run away if you've been listening. Remember, you can get us right here on Periscope and on Spreaker as well. A lot more great things to come. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back. This is the BG Sports Show. Welcome back to the BG Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I am Bax, not joined by Sam today, but I want to offer you a quick word, though, from one of our sponsors of the show, the Student Debt Center. If you are having trouble with paying off your student loans, you're going to want to call 855-401-3508. Call now to inquire about your student loans being reduced. 855-401-3508 to make one of the easy student loan payments. That is 855-401-3508 to stop or avoid garnishments from your check as well. One more time, that number is 855-401-3508 for much lower payments based on your income and living circumstances rather than a fixed interest rate. Call now before Congress makes cuts to the national budget, which will nullify this free program. Remember that number one more time is 855-401-3508, Student Debt Centers. All right, thank you for their support of the show. I decided to bring in our producer, Danny Hoffenstein, this morning to chat a little bit about the NFL with me. So good morning, Danny. How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
Doing pretty good?
Yeah.
Excited to be here this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's always fun to do the show. It's always fun to listen.
Well, I appreciate your continued work behind the scenes here.
We'll see what I can do about football this morning.
Well, we'll see what a lot of us can do about football.
Yeah.
I mean, this upcoming action we've got here in Week 8 is highlighted by some pretty marquee matchups. Starting with the Thursday night football game, which takes place tonight, obviously, today being Thursday. Miami taking on New England. A fun fact about this game, Miami has dropped 12 of the last 14 games they've played the Patriots. So they've lost
Really?
the last 12 of their 14 games when it comes to taking on New England, which makes sense because New England has kind of had their number over the last few years, but it hadn't realized that it had been that long since they had actually beaten the Patriots.
That's probably, that's a few seasons.
It is.
That's a lot of seasons, actually.
It is, yeah, absolutely, considering...
I don't think it's going to be any different tonight, to be honest. So.
No. You even look at some of the numbers, though. The Miami Dolphins are being led by Ryan Tannehill right now. He's got 13 total touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And then you flip over on the other side. Tom Brady, he's almost thrown for 2,100 yards, 16 touchdowns, and an interception. Right. It's one of those games where on paper you're like, well, this should really be a Patriots victory, but a divisional matchup game, Thursday night football, under the lights. The Dolphins have any chance of winning this game?
I like what they're doing this season. I'm actually a fan of Tannehill. I think he's got a lot of talent. It just needs to be developed a little bit more. Mm-hmm. They're looking better than they have been in recent years.
Which is true. Which
is very true. But the Patriots are just so good.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about it.
The Patriots are just so good this season, and I don't see how the Dolphins. They could give them a run for their money, but I think the Patriots still come out on top.
Yep, I agree with you on that one. Yeah, Miami sitting in third in the AFC East. They are 3-3. The Patriots on top of the AFC East with a 6-0 record. I've got the Patriots in this game. Sounds like you've got the Patriots also. Yeah. Green Bay and Denver. Sunday night football action going on, 7:30 p.m. The battle of the undefeated teams. Mm-hmm. Both coming off of a bye as well, which I think was needed for both teams. Peyton Manning needed a bye to try to just recover from his horrific start to the season. Yeah, and then for the Packers, I think that they just had a few injuries that they needed to get fixed up, get some guys some extra rest, try to figure out what's going on with the running game as well. Now it seems like Eddie Lacy's ankle is fine, according to Coach Mike McCarthy, and James Starks apparently now has a hip injury. So I'm not exactly sure. He didn't practice yesterday, which is the first day back of practice after the bye week. But either way, though, I don't feel like that is going to really be that big of an issue going into this game. This game is in Denver, so I think Green Bay has got a good opportunity still to go in and take a big victory against, regardless of a tough Denver defensive team.
Right. Yeah. Denver's got a great defense, and regardless of their offense, I think it's still their defense that's saving them in these games week in and week out.
Yep, they've been saving my fantasy team weekly.
Exactly.
Well.
So their offense, I don't know. Maybe the bye week they'll figure things out for their offense, but right now it's just going to be their defense. And if the Packers can get their act together for offensively, I think they got a pretty good shot. However, Packers defense is mediocre. And with the bye week, the Denver Broncos may have figured out their offense, and they might, steamroll the Packers defense. So I don't know. The bye week has done a lot.
It has,
to change these two teams. That's given them a chance to look ahead.
Yes.
For 2 weeks at this matchup, and to figure out injuries, figure out how can we fix what we've been doing so far.
Yep.
So, It's going to be a really, really good game, I think.
Oh, I agree, and I think that's why they put it on Sunday Night Football,
Right,
because
right.
when you get Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning in the same game, which you don't hear, you always hear the comparisons between Manning and Brady and Rodgers. The three of those guys really never play each other very often, and I get it. Sometimes with the NFC teams, you don't see a lot of the AFC teams unless either you're scheduled to play that division this season or it comes to the playoffs. So I've got Green Bay winning this game.
I think I would have to agree with that. However, I don't think it's going to be very. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a pretty close game.
No, this will be a game that I think Green Bay will win by less than 10 points. I feel like Green Bay will win this game, but it's going to be a close game.
It's going to be very close.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's going to be very high scoring either, to be honest.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a game where we see maybe like a 20-17 game or something
maybe
of that nature.
3 touchdowns if you're lucky on each team.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you on that one. Yeah, Green Bay is definitely getting my vote on that one. So looking ahead, we've got Detroit and Kansas City. Kind of the battle of two teams whose seasons are pretty much over at this point. Detroit, they're 1-6. Kansas City, they've only got 2 wins to their name. They're 2-5. I'm actually going to take Detroit on this one. They fired their offensive coordinator this last week. I think a new guy coming in is going to be what exactly the team needs to give Matthew Stafford a little bit more freedom. And I like the Lions going in and winning this game by about 14.
Really?
I do.
Huh. I am going to go with the Chiefs.
Okay, that's fine.
Because the Lions just don't look good this year. That's my reason. Like the Chiefs aren't very good either. But I don't know. The Lions are just bad.
No, I understand that one. Yeah, the Lions, I mean, both teams have been bad, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Neither team has looked good at all season. But, and I know some of you on Periscope are saying, well, Kansas City just beat the Steelers. Well, yes, but look what the Steelers had as a starting quarterback. I mean, last I checked, Landry Jones isn't a starting NFL quarterback. So.
Yeah. Still, the Steelers are, whatever.
They have a good overall
They
product.
Have a good overall
yes.
product record. So, I mean, the Chiefs, I think, still are the better team here. But
fair enough.
Hey,
well,
you'll go for the underdog, and we'll see what happens.
Exactly, and this game is in London as well, so we'll see.
Hey,
we'll see if that adds a little bit of extra flair to this game. Maybe people will be like, "Oh, I guess I'll watch." Tampa and Atlanta. Atlanta is probably one of the worst one-loss teams in the history of the NFL, in my opinion. They've taken on a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team who's just been frisky. I think that's just the best way to put it, because they found ways to be just obnoxiously annoying. They've done enough. Tampa's all right. They're 2-4 in their division, but it just I've got a problem with both of these teams. But at the end of the day, I think Atlanta is going to wake up. I think Matt Ryan is going to say, you know what, enough of this crap. I'm going to go off against a really bad Buccaneers defense.
Yep.
San Diego and Baltimore, another game where neither team is really looking that great this season. 3 total wins combined between the two teams. Regardless of how good of a season Phillip Rivers is having, he's almost thrown for 2,500 yards. He's got 15 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Neither team has really looked that dominant on offense. You look at those numbers from Phillip Rivers, you're like, wow, this Chargers team must be going crazy. Well, not really. No, their defense hasn't looked that great, and offensively they've stuttered a lot this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, San Diego's averaging 430 yards a game, which is the best in the NFL right now, compared to the Baltimore Ravens, who average 356 yards a game, which is 15th in the NFL. So, make what arguments you will about both squads, saying, "Well, I think they've got this stuff going for them." San Diego is the better team, in my opinion, and they're going to grab this victory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I'd agree.
Okay.
Yep.
Minnesota and Chicago. I was mentioning this to you off air. I feel like Green Bay is the only team in the NFC North that never plays a divisional game. Because everybody else plays their divisional games through the first 14 weeks of the season. And then all of a sudden Green Bay's like, oh, right, we got to go play our divisional opponents now. So the Vikings are 4-2. The Bears are 2-4. I don't really know who I want in this game. Probably the Vikings.
Yeah.
And it does have a...
They've really turned it on this season.
They have, yes, and I think my consistent argument though is that they need to. Number one, Adrian Peterson needs to get the ball more, because the lack of production from him has been, frankly, a little annoying and a little disheartening for Viking fans, I feel. Mm-hmm. And also, Teddy Bridgewater needs better protection. And I know Phil Lodeholt has gone off the offensive line, but even still, you should be able to try to keep your second-year quarterback off the ground more than what he's been. It's been a little ridiculous from how much he's been on the ground. The emergence of Stephon Diggs has been great as well. We saw him with a fantastic touchdown catch last week.
Mm-hmm. So this offense really has the potential to make it really, make games great and do really well. It's just got to put the little pieces together.
Exactly.
It's coming together. They just got a couple more pieces to fit,
Yep.
And it's going to be solid.
I agree with you. Yeah, Minnesota was one of the teams going into the season that a lot of us folks here on the BG Sports Show were saying, you know what, I think we should keep an eye on them. And so far, they've done a fairly good job. So Minnesota's got my vote in this game.
Yep.
Arizona and Cleveland. Arizona is 5-2. Cleveland is 2-5. Rumors that Johnny Manziel might be playing in this game are kind of swirling around. I don't know. I mean, what are you going to really say about this one? It was just, I don't know. I think what more people are focusing on, though, is the fact that Chris Johnson, the man who was just an absolute animal when he played at Tennessee, has found his new life. He's come back. He's just done fantastic. He's already carried the ball 111 times for 567 yards. He's averaging 5.1 yards a carry, and he's got 3 touchdowns on the season. That is doing just exceptionally well, and he hasn't even played the entire year. So hats off to him. He's had 3 100-yard rushing games this year. The man looks like the real deal, and I think he will be a major catalyst to Arizona winning this game. I think Cleveland just needs to kind of forget about it again, unfortunately, because there's really no real way to say, you know what, I think Cleveland can upset this team. I just don't see it, personally.
No, Arizona's, I don't think so. I agree.
Yep, yeah, no, that's completely fine. Tennessee and Houston, kind of a snore fest, unfortunately. 2-5, Texans against 1-5 Titans. Brian Hoyer's thrown 11 touchdowns this year, which is great, but the Texans also released Ryan Mallett this last week as well, which kind of proves that they have no clue and or care in the world about who plays quarterback for them. I guess I'll have to go with the Texans on this one just because they have a slightly better offensive product and a defense. Texans probably just get my vote on this one purely because I don't really care, but I like the Texans better out of the two teams.
I don't even know.
Yeah, and Marcus Mariota is not playing in this game either.
Oh, so I really don't care then.
Yeah, Zach Mettenberger is still playing quarterback.
Sounds bad, but this game just doesn't matter at all.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly, yeah. Somebody on Periscope makes the joke saying that people in Cleveland are kind of giving up watching the Browns. It's the Cavs now because the NBA season has started, which is completely true.
It's true.
Why would you bother watching the Browns? The Browns are 2-5.
When you have the Cavaliers.
When you have the Cavaliers and you have LeBron James, basically the Aaron Rodgers of the NBA on your team. So go ahead and watch the best player in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Giants and Saints, as we're offering our predictions here for this upcoming week here on the BG Sports Show. What do you got for me on that one, Danny?
That's gonna be a good game, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna be a really good game.
Do you think it's gonna be a high-scoring game?
It has potential.
Okay.
To be a high-scoring game. I would go with the Saints.
Interesting.
Because, Just because.
Okay.
I really don't like the Giants personally.
Well,
but that aside, the Saints, Drew Brees he's pretty good this season. He's doing pretty well, I think. I haven't really been watching these two teams, to be honest, to give a complete.
No, I understand that.
But,
yeah. I mean, looking at it, the Giants, they're 4-3. Saints are 3-4. Drew Brees is averaging 311 yards a game.
Yeah.
So he's completed 67% of his passes, which is fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, he's doing pretty well this season, and I think that I don't know. I think I like the Saints in this game.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you on that one. Drew Brees is literally doing everything he possibly can with the limited amount of people around him, which is definitely commendable. So I'm going to have to go with the Saints again with you on this one as well, Danny. Looking at it now, we've got Pittsburgh and Cincinnati as we try to wrap up our predictions here quickly before we got to jump to a break. I've got the Bengals winning this one. Even though Ben Roethlisberger will likely be back, I still think that Cincinnati is too hot to handle right now.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw this or not in your many days of research at all, Danny, but NFL.com and ESPN.com came out with an article saying the reason the Bengals are doing so well this year is because Andy Dalton has a new haircut. Just let that sink in for a second. Anyway, 49ers, Rams. I've got the Rams winning this game. Even though the Rams are 3-3, I think they're one of the best 3-3 teams in the NFL right now. Nick Foles and company, they need this game more than anybody does. I think, well, obviously San Francisco wants to prove that they're relevant again, but it's just not going to happen, honestly.
San Francisco does not have their stuff together this
season. Rams got this game. Jets, Raiders. I've got the Jets. They're a little upset about how last game against the Patriots went. Regardless of the fact that Derek Carr and Amari Cooper have looked exceptionally good this season, even Michael Crabtree stepped up as well for the Raiders, but be that as it may, Jets got this win in my book.
Yep.
Let's see here. Finishing up, Seahawks and Cowboys. Des Bryant sounds like he's going to be back, But with Matt Castle throwing the ball back there for the Cowboys, I don't really got anything positive to say about this one. Russell Wilson and company are going to get the job done. Russell, 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions this season so far. Marshawn Lynch kind of coming back from his injuries, looking decent. So we'll see what he's able to produce in this one.
Yep.
That's about all you can really say about it. And then the Monday Night Football game, Colts and Panthers. Panthers are favored in this game only by 7, which I think is very lackluster, unfortunately. But Andrew Luck I feel like he needs to just kind of say, you know what, guys, thanks. I'm going to just go do a few more DirecTV commercials this year and just call it a day. So I've got Carolina winning this game and continuing to stay undefeated in that one.
I think Carolina would handily have this game, although it might be a good one.
It could turn out to be a good game, honestly, depending on which Andrew Luck and which Indianapolis team shows up.
Right.
So, all right, well, we're going to jump off to a break. Let us know your predictions. Get us up on Twitter at BG Sports Show, at Baxter Colburn, at Samuel_Wallace2. And real quick, the 4 bye week teams. You've got Buffalo, Jacksonville, Philly, and Washington. So let us know your predictions for the upcoming week of NFL action. We'll be right back. This is the BG Sports Show. Welcome back to the BG Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. I'm back. No Sam today. Danny Hoffenstein, the producer, chilling in studio with me as he helped out offer some predictions on the upcoming action here in the NFL. Connor Christensen will be joining us here in just another segment. So for those of you that are clamoring in your seats, waiting to hear what fight news he has for us this week, I'm sure it will send all of us into a panic as we will be waiting to hear what exactly he has to say. So I know I'm excited to hear what he has to say. I'm sure it has something to do with Ronda Rousey, because if it doesn't, I don't know why he even bothered walking in the studio this morning, because the people know what they want to talk about. They know what they want to hear. So let's be honest about that one. So a quick reminder for you also that you can get us right here on Sports Radio America from 11 to 1 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday, and live on Spreaker.com from 7 to 8 a.m. Central, and on Periscope as well. Thanks to all of you that are watching on Periscope. I want to take a quick moment to take a look at the action that took place in Major League Soccer. The opening round of the playoffs has kicked off last night, and they also go on tonight as well. We heard from Chris Blakely yesterday as he was offering some predictions for us, one of our good friends over at VavalUSA.com. So 2 games are already in the books, and unfortunately my 2 favorite teams are already both out of the playoffs, which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? That's how the game of soccer goes, unfortunately. But DC United over in the Eastern Conference took down the New England Revolution by a score of 2-1. Juan Agudelo with one of the best goals I have ever seen, with a beautiful bicycle kick. Reminded me, for those of you that are New England Revolution fans, of the man Taylor Twellman that scored a gorgeous playoff goal against the Chicago Fire a few years back. So it was nice to see him get on the score sheet, because he's kind of struggled towards the end of the year. But that's how the cookie crumbled last night for the New England Revolution. In goal, Bobby Shuttleworth. He had 2 goals scored against him. He made 5 total. What did he say here? He had 5 total saves, 7 saves total. Excuse me. Looking around for everybody else, Kevin Alston had the lone assist for the Revolution last night. Juan Agudelo with the goal. As we mentioned, he had 3 total shots, 1 on target. Other than that, not too much production came from the rest of the team. Nobody else really found ways to get shots on target, unfortunately. For DC United, Bill Hamid had a pretty good save, had a pretty good night overall, as he was able to drop a total of 3 saves, as he saw 4 shots on target. So good job for him coming up with some high-quality saves last night. And then the goals last night coming from Chris Rolfe and Chris Pontius as well. Both assists coming from Fabian Espíndola as well. So congratulations to DC United. They will move on in the playoffs. They have yet to hear who they will be playing on Sunday. That all depends on who Montreal and Toronto win. Whoever wins out on that game, which takes place tonight, which we'll get to in just a moment. The other game that was going on last night in Major League Soccer for the opening round of the knockout rounds of the playoffs was the Seattle Sounders and the LA Galaxy. Traditionally, the Galaxy have had the Sounders' number when it comes to playoff time. That was not the case last night, as the Seattle Sounders win 3-2. Just an absolute blitzkrieg of goals, though. 3 goals were scored in the game after 12 minutes. Goals were scored in the 5th and 6th minutes by either team. Clint Dempsey got the game underway in the 5th minute. Sebastian Lletget scored in the 6th minute. Nick Valdez scoring in the 12th, Gyasi Zardes in the 22nd, and Eric Freeberg in the 73rd to end up winning the game for the Sounders. So, same story applies for the Sounders. They will wait to see who they will play after Portland and Kansas City play tonight, so that's a good segue to look at the games taking place tonight. Montreal taking on Toronto FC in the opening round of the playoffs, the 3rd seed against the 6th seed. Both teams winning 15 regular season games. However, Toronto finishing in that 15th spot due to all of the draws they had this season. So we will see who wins that game. I do like Montreal winning that game. I think Didier Drogba and company have the number so far of Toronto FC, and it's going to be a great game that you're not going to want to miss. That game kicks off at 6 p.m. Check your local listings and MLS Live as well to check out that game. And then Portland taking on Sporting Kansas City as well. That will be held at Providence Park. The Timbers, they're looking to regain some relevance here in Major League Soccer. A win tonight against Sporting would be huge for the overall production of the team. However, I do think Sporting with Dom Dwyer and company are going to really find a good way to stick it to the Portland Timbers and cash in on a big win for them. Real quickly, for those of you that were wondering how the standings finished up in Major League Soccer in the Western Conference, it was FC Dallas in 1, Vancouver 2, Portland 3, Seattle 4, LA 5, and Sporting 6. Over in the East, the New York Red Bulls in first place and also the Supporters Shield winners. Number 2 was the Columbus Crew, 3 Montreal, 4 DC United, 5 New England Revolution, and 6 Toronto FC as well. So some great action coming to you from Major League Soccer. For those of you that didn't hear, also, it was Sebastian Giovinco that was named the 2015 Golden Boot Award winner as well, after he scored 22 goals and added 16 assists in his first year of action in Major League Soccer. So regardless of what league you play in, if you can go 22 and 16, that is a fantastic stat line to carry. So congratulations to him and Toronto FC for making the playoffs as well. So a lot of great action still to come here on the BG Sports Show. We're going to jump to a break. When we come back, Connor Christensen and company are in the studio. We will be right back with him and his Fight Corner. You're not going to want to miss it. This is the BG Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. We'll talk to you all in a minute. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the BG Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax. Quick reminder for all of you here, for those of you that are struggling with your student loan debt, let's be honest, we all are, but I want to send you a reminder here from the student debt centers that also support the BG Sports Show as well. So a quick reminder for you to help yourself and also help out the BG Sports Show at the same time, right? I'm kind of crazy about that. If you want to get a hold of them, you can call them at 855-401-3508. I also want to take a moment to tell you that you can contact them that will help you lower your overall payments as well based on the income and living circumstances that you have. That's 855-401-3508. Call now before Congress makes cuts to their national budget, which will nullify this free program. Remember, that's 855-401-3508. All right, well, it is time for Connor Christensen to join us here on the BG Sports Show, as he does here on Mondays and Thursdays. So good morning to you, Connor. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to chat about the wonderful world of UFC and fighting and messing people up and breaking bones and concussions and all that.
So on a daily basis, that's what happens.
Pretty much. I mean, that's why else do people watch all that madness?
That's true. Well, I mean, there's more to it than that. But
there's not.
I remember how the show how this segment started with me talking about UFC and boxing, and then I was like, yeah. So we're basically just talking about UFC.
Nobody talks about boxing.
Yeah,
let's be honest. I appreciate you trying to bring the demographic of boxers to the BG Sports Show.
There's just so few like real boxers nowadays.
True. It's very true.
Pacquiao and Mayweather were the last.
Were they ever a thing?
They were. They definitely were a thing, and they were very, very good and very talented, and brought in a lot of money and had very successful athletic careers.
I suppose
that's why I say they're the last, though, and it's
last of the Mohicans.
Pretty much. And then now we just have UFC fighters nowadays.
Well, speaking about the UFC, you've got some exciting news for us, Connor. So
I do.
The floor is yours, sir.
All right. Well, UFC 193 is just around the corner. 2 weeks from now, Ronda will have her fight. And so I thought it would be only appropriate to take a look at the main event of their fight, being Ronda versus Holly Holm. And next week we'll go into more in-depth predictions of all
breaking it down
of all of the fights as opposed to just the main event. But for today, we're going to just talk about the main event.
Totally fine.
So Ronda Rousey is an animal. She's a beast.
Absolutely.
And she, for some reason, when she charges you, she doesn't get hit, and then she just destroys you. And that's how it works with Ronda. However, Holly Holm might be a different story, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for Ronda here. Holly Holm is a different type of fighter than she's used to, because Holly Holm is a boxer.
Oh.
Yeah. She has won several world titles. She had a professional record of, I believe it was 33-2.
Okay.
Which is very decorated for her to win 33 fights and only lose 2. She won 9 by knockout, and she lost 2 by knockout.
Now, how does that transition over, though, from going to the boxing world to UFC? Does that give you an advantage? Does it give you a disadvantage?
It can give you an advantage, but I would say yes and no. It can give you an advantage, but it can also be a disadvantage. If you rely too heavily on your boxing, you will be vulnerable in other ways. So, someone like Ronda, who doesn't like to stand up, she actually does not like to throw punches with her opponent. She'll go in there and she'll punch you in the face, yeah, but her big thing is, I'm going to go in, I'm going to flip you over my back, and then I'm going to tweak your arm so hard that you tap out. And that's what she loves to do.
Of course, yeah. If it's working, why change it?
If you go to the UFC profile, every fighter's style preference is broken down by a percentage. So she's 12% striking. I think it was 54% takedowns, and the rest were submissions.
Jeez.
So she loves to flip you over her back and either punch you in the face or make you tap out. And I'm
not sure which one I'd prefer to have happen first. Either break my arm or get punched in the face.
If it's Ronda hitting me, I'd probably just go out as soon as she hit me in the face.
Like, I'm done. I'm sorry. Stop.
Well, as soon as she even had any sort of leverage on my arm, I would be tapping.
True.
Because I would not want to suffer the wrath of the armbar from
rightfully so. I don't think anybody really wants to.
No, not really. Not anyone in their right mind, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's very true.
So that's her style. Now, she's going to have to be able to get past the wonderful stand-up of Holly Holm, who is a professional boxer, and she was a kickboxer before that. So the one thing that I see for Ronda going well for her is that her actual fighting style is technically judo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I knew that.
She was in the Olympics. She won a bronze medal for judo in 2008.
Oh, wow.
In the Beijing Olympics.
Oh, I had no idea.
So she's also very decorated with judo.
Okay.
So I can see her. That's why she's so good at throwing people.
Yes.
It's because that's a judo thing.
So that seems very judo-y.
Yeah, and then because judo traditionally is not an offensive fight style. Judo is a very defensive fight style. So, you're getting attacked by someone just out on the street, you're getting mugged, whatever. You learn how to flip them, throw them, and then get away. That's kind of judo's thing.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
And it's kind of like a standing wrestling. It's interesting. It's a very, very unique, very, very fun fighting style to watch and to do.
Okay.
So that, I could see the judo kind of coming in there when someone tries to come up and strike on you. Then you just flip them. Mm-hmm. So there will be advantages and disadvantages. I think if Holly Holm is able to utilize more than just striking, if she's able to throw in some wrestling, some jiu-jitsu, all of that stuff as well. If she's able to, if she can make it so that Ronda cannot throw her, then Holly Holm's chances are actually pretty good. Now, the problem is, I don't think Holly Holm is going to be able to do that.
I was saying, so how does she come at her then? Because you're going to have to come at her. I feel like Ronda's going to just charge regardless right out of the gate.
Yeah, that's what she does. Right out of the gate, she's going to charge. And Holly Holm was saying, I was reading an article last night that Holly Holm was saying that she would need to make it, she'd have to press the attack the entire time, not give Ronda any time to catch her breath, to find weakness or anything, because she'll capitalize on it.
Yes.
And, I'm sitting there reading this article going, yeah, good luck with that.
No kidding.
Keeping Ronda at bay is no small feat. And I think that Ronda will come out of the gates. I think she'll come out strong, and I think that she will take the fight because of her judo background. I think that is a good defense for striking, and I also think that she's just too much. She's just too powerful, and there is no fighter in the UFC right now that can stand up to her.
Yeah, and that's a question I have for you too. Is I think I may have asked you this in the past, but is there any weakness for Ronda? Is there any one particular place that if I were a specific fighter saying, all right, I'm going to fight her and I'm going to try to target this aspect of her game?
Yes. Yeah. Ronda actually... Let me think for a second. Yes, okay. I will say yes. There are weaknesses to her fighting style.
Okay.
The thing is that, before I get to the actual weakness of her fighting style, I just want to say that she's just too good at it. Like, there's no one who's her caliber fighter in her weight class. There's nobody who can stand up to her.
Okay,
so
sure.
Weaknesses in her fighting style are almost irrelevant because she's just better than you.
I know, but I feel like everybody has to have some sort of weakness.
Yes, and she does. The fact that her main thing is to charge in, guns blazing, and throw you down onto the ground and try to submit you.
Yeah.
That is, to be completely honest, it's not the most efficient fighting style there is. She's so good at it, and she's so powerful, and she's so elusive that she can get by your strikes and everything. But if we're talking, if there was another Ronda caliber fighter, and she was fighting against Ronda, she would need to, she would need to do the exact same thing. She would need to come out right away, and she would need to try to throw Ronda.
Okay.
Because that would be the last thing that she would expect.
Yeah.
Because, she expects everyone to go instantly on the defensive, try to throw some strikes, keep her at bay a little bit. But if someone came out and used the momentum that Ronda was bringing, if she used that momentum to get her on the ground instead, that would be how you would want to start that fight.
Okay.
And then I would not say if you can submit Ronda, go ahead, but I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, that seems very unlikely.
I would say ground and pound until she's done. But that would be mine. Try to get in a clinch or two, because the clinch is where you're holding someone by the nape of the neck with both hands, and you throw knees, and it's a jiu-jitsu thing.
Just
or I'm
bash
sorry,
their head
it's
on
a
your knee,
Muay Thai
basically.
thing. And yeah, pretty much.
That just
And
sounds
I've
terrible.
seen so many fights where someone has it in the clinch, pulls them down, and knees them in the forehead, and they're out. And yeah, I'm sitting there going, "Oh my goodness,
No, thank you.
yeah, fun to watch, probably not fun to experience."
Yeah, even watching sometimes I'd be like, Maybe not. This is a bit much for
I
me.
guess I'm just crazy like that.
Well, I mean, at least you said it, not me. Anyway, well, we're excited to see what exactly transpires in this fight. Thanks so much for stopping by, Connor. We will check in with you again on Monday for your fitness tips, sir.
All right.
All right, we'll be right back here on the BG Sports Show to wrap things up with some World Series action. I feel like the Royals might be a little too confident after their 2-game lead, but we'll see what happens. Series heads to the New York Mets Stadium next. We'll be right back. This is the BG Sports Show. Welcome back to the BG Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm back. No Sam today. He'll be back tomorrow, though, as he does here on the show. Moving forward, just want to take a moment to remind you all that you can get us on social media at the BG Sports Show on Twitter. We're also at Baxter Colburn, at Samuel_Wallace2. And on Facebook, we are the BG Sports Show. That's what it is, the BG Sports Show. Instagram, we are BG Sports Show. And if you ever want to shoot us an email as well, feel free to do it at bgsportshow@gmail.com. Time for a quick reminder from Student Debt Center. Help yourself and help out the BG Sports Show at the same time. How? Well, by dialing 855-401-3508. Call now to inquire about your student loans and about them getting them reduced as well. That's 855-401-3508 to make one easy student loan payment. 855-401-3508 to stop or avoid garnishments from your check as well. So that way you can get a much lower payment based on your income and living circumstances rather than a fixed interest rate. Let's be honest, we all would love that. Call now before Congress makes cuts to the national budget, which will nullify this free program. Remember, that number again is 855-401-3508. All right, well, the baseball world is continuing to roll on. The season is nearly done, but not before the World Series is complete. As most of you know that are avid baseball goers, the New York Mets are taking on the Kansas City Royals right now in the World Series. And Kansas City carrying a now 2-0 lead over the Mets after their 7-1 victory last night in Kansas City. For those of you that recall, it was a barn burner 2 nights ago, when they had to go to 14 innings before Kansas City finally pulled out the victory. Now, Kansas City, though, is just really running away with things. Like I said, a 7-1 victory last night. The Mets led all the way until the 5th inning, but then Kansas City pounded 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th and added 3 more insurance run in the bottom of the 8th to go for a total of 7-1 in that game. They had 10 hits, the Royals did last night, to the Mets 2. Just a terrible, terrible game last night. Looking at the pitching last night from Johnny Cueto, what a great game he had last night. He pitched 50% of his pitches last night, came off of fastballs, averaging 93 miles an hour. His pitching breakdown the rest of the way, 19% of his throws were cut fastballs, 14% of it was sliders. He had changeups for 12%, and he threw 5% of his pitches for curveballs as well. He pitched all 9 innings. He allowed 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run. He walked 4, struck out. He walked 3, struck out 4. That's what I wanted. He is now 1-0 in the postseason. Looking over on the other side for the Mets, Jacob deGrom was the pitcher last night. He only went 5 innings. He allowed 6 hits and 4 runs, and he walked 3 and struck out 2. His pitching last night was broken down mostly with fastballs as well. 56% of his pitches last night were fastballs, averaging 95 miles an hour. They also dished out some curveballs for 19% of his throws. Sliders he only threw 14% of the time, and he threw changeups 11% of the time. For those of you that are stat geeks when it comes to breaking down all the big plays for baseball, that I'm sure all that information I'm sure was very helpful to you and very relevant. So you're like, oh, thank you for that. So you're welcome. It's the little things that we do here on the show. So the series now will take place down in New York. So we will see what happens with that one. As the Mets will look to try to dig themselves out of a hole. But frankly, with how the game last night went for Kansas City, I mentioned this talking with Sam Wallace earlier in the week, saying that I think that this will be the Royals' season, mostly because that they were here last year. And for those of you that follow baseball, you know that the Giants won last year in Game 7 of the World Series. But I feel that Kansas City, they are the veterans. They know what it's like to win they know what it's like to get to the big game. And I think that this will be the year that they really step it up and pound the Mets. I wouldn't be surprised if they swept, although I think that the Mets have a good enough pitching staff that this will probably go to 5 games. More than likely it'll go to 5 games in total honesty, because you've seen some good performances so far from certain Met players, but it's really been just a fantastic overall performance from just about everybody on Kansas City. I mean, one of the guys that stepped up so far, Alcides Escobar, he's done a good job so far here in the playoffs. Last night he had 2 hits and 2 RBIs as well, batting at .273 during his 5 at-bats. We also saw good performances coming from, we had Eric Hosmer as well. He had 2 hits as well last night on 2 RBIs. And then, forgive me on this one for your last name, Mike, but Mike Moustakas, I think is how you pronounce it, Moustakas. Those letters should never all be together in the same word, but somehow your parents seem to decide to do that to you, so thanks for that one, Mike. But no, he had a pretty good game last night as well. He had 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 RBI, batting .444 in his 3 at-bats last night, so a good overall performance from him. There were a total of 2 doubles last night that were struck. Escobar even hit a triple last night as well, so a good performance from him. There were no home runs last night, but it was still a great overall performance from Kansas City that will look to use that momentum going to New York, as we mentioned. Kansas City, they finished out their season as a whole as 95-67. They were the first in the AL Central. The Mets, they finished first with a 90-72 record in the NL East. So series heads back to New York, as we mentioned. That game will be taking place on Friday night, which is tomorrow night. Yes, I know. That's usually what comes after Thursday. Starting pitchers are going to be Yordano Ventura for the Royals and Noah Syndergaard for the Mets. Looking at the breakdown for Syndergaard, he loves his fastball. 62% of his pitches this entire season were fastballs, and he usually averages in about the 97-mile-an-hour percentage. So keep an eye out for that one. For Ventura, he's also a bit of a fastball guy. He only has 4 pitches, though, that he throws: fastball, curveball, changeups, and fastball cutters as well. but he favors that 96-mile-an-hour fastball 58% of the time. During the regular season, Ventura posted a 13-8 overall record, struck out 156 batters, while Syndergaard went 9-7 over 150 innings pitched, dropping 166 strikeouts as well. So, good game. Looking forward to see what both of these teams batted out, though, but I really do feel that Kansas City will end up taking this overall victory. So congratulations to Kansas City on their victory last night. So thanks to all of you for tuning in to another edition of the BG Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. Sam Wallace will be back in the studio tomorrow as we hash out all the big details leading up to the Week 8 NFL action. We'll take a look back and see what happened on Thursday Night Football between the Dolphins and the Patriots as well. So thank you to Connor Christensen for stopping by for his Fight Corner, as he does here on Thursdays on the BG Sports Show. Our producer has been Danny Hoffenstein. For Sam Wallace, I'm Baxter Colburn. We will see all of you again tomorrow right here at 7 a.m. Central live on Spreaker and Periscope, and from 11 to 1 p.m. Central on Sports Radio America. Enjoy your day. Good luck to all of you out there that are following MLS, NBA, NHL, NFL, anything else that has an N, an F, or an L in it too, honestly, because let's be honest, those words are in everything. So we love you all. Thanks for your continued listenership. We'll see you all again tomorrow. It's Friday. The week's almost done. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.